Okay, so now that the rear suspension is done, we're going to move on to the engine. Nothing too crazy, just some spark plugs and the engine filter, which luckily can be done at the same time. We've lost the light, but we still got the space. Let's do it. Bit more. That'll definitely clear. And while that is not a ton of space, it is just enough. Okie dokie. Okay. Anyway, so this is a 4.2 liter inline six. Front is here. Goes back a little bit. We're going to be doing the air filter and spark plugs. All happens kind of at once, so works out. So we'll be moving the top of the air filter, this intake tube, this intake plenum, yep. Here's the throttle body, and that's going to be your intake manifold right there. So this is likely to increase bottom end torque. There's more air, like this. Think of this as like a little capacitor storing air that the throttle body can draw on immediately, because technically that air has already been filtered. It's made it past the air filter. There's little to no resistance for that. That's not for certain, just a theory, so don't quote me. But otherwise, it's all really pretty straightforward on something like this. Looks like this is probably the battery box here, fuse box here, power steering fluid, engine oil, coolant reservoir, wiper fluid, and then I'm not sure if this has a transmission dipstick or not. It's not really relevant to today. It's the first time I've looked at one of these, so a little nosy. But otherwise, let's get started. Before I go too much further, so for parts, we're going to do some genuine GM AC Delco spark plugs. And then last but not least, a new reusable air filter. Bolt here. Supposedly there's one there, but it looks like it's missing. I'm not entirely shocked by that. Where is my light? It's right here. Let's see. Yep, so that bolt is missing. Supposed to be just this one other one here for a cover. And then just another one that's right here. So I guess we'll get started with that. So for the majority of this, these are pretty much all we'll need. I could use just one solid. Do that for right now. One solid piece, but this is what we got for the moment. What size is this? 13, looks a bit big. Of course, it's the infamous 10 millimeter. What's up?
How's it going?
Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I'm just grabbing these pallets.
Oh no, okay. It's like I know it's a bit of a mess in here. I've been moving stuff around.
No worries.
Okay. All right. Is that? And then that's why I love the flex head right here. Okay. Oof, that is crusty. Looks like it might have been a little bit since those were last moved. So I'll put you with the other one. Come on. Then I just have to take off this little piece here, which you just pinch and pull. Here it comes. This just wiggles out. There it goes. That filter's looking a little beat. So that's our old filter. We're gonna throw that away. Okay. That was an 8mm. Okay. Don't want to break that. It's just like those other clips. Just pull it back, right? See where that's headed. Stick. I mean, I guess technically I don't need to touch that beyond that. I could just kind of leave it. So I think that's what we'll do. And then the next piece to get off is this, which we have a bolt here and a bolt over there. It looks like a clamp here. So loosen the clamp. That's probably back to a 10. Probably need the rest of this. Oh boy, really gonna have to hold that. Okay, short stubby. No, I'm gonna have to get this out of the way. And there's the old air filter. Goodbye. So that makes that a little easier, I guess. hate how every vehicle has their own special style clip. Yeah, there it goes. That's what I thought. This has a locking tab on it, but it is gunked up with dirt. And then I pry this up, and I should be able to. Yeah, come on. I don't know if that's supposed to come out all the way like that, but I don't really care because I can at least put it back in. Oof. Alright. Hard-won battle, but we did it, folks. Crusty. Crusty, crusty, crusty. Alright. That is awesome. So we're going to take our special clip and we're going to put it over here with our stuff. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put this over here with our reusables. Okay, now I should be able to get at that without too much struggle. And then just be mindful of other stuff now. Come on. Oh, that's not relevant. Oh, I'm totally missing. Turns out I guess I do want that extension. Let's take the swivel off. There we go. Okay, and then I ideally, from everything I can see, this should just come off with a little bit of wiggle jiggle. And then there is a hose right here that we need to disconnect at the same time, which, there we go. Looks like I might want to take more off that last clamp, which again, another 8mm. Sometimes these clamps, you really got to back them up pretty far. Yep. Okay, and then there is just one little cable still attached in the back here that we just got to disconnect. Oh, okay. Oh, that was easy. And then this piece just lifts right out. Way to go. It's fine. Okay. And here is our intake plenum. So he's got in, and it's just a big baffled chamber. There you go. See right in there. And then that's just a vacuum line on the bottom. Okay, so now we can get at everything that we need to get at. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and way back in there, that's going to be a reach for me, 6 cylinders. There is a lot of debris right here. So I guess what we're going to do is find something to plug that up, blast it out with our air gun, and then we're going to start taking those ignition coils off. So it's a little over the top, but it's all I can find around here. So we plugged up the throttle body. We don't want any debris getting in there. That doesn't look too bad. See all the dirt that's landing in that? That's everything we don't want in the throttle body, because that means it's going straight in the engine. It'll probably burn it up, but it doesn't need to go in there, so we're not going to let it. It's really nice to have the opportunity to do things properly for once. With my tools, my gear, the way I want to be doing stuff. Like if I had my own garage, we'd be doing stuff like this all the time. But I don't have a garage. And then this stuff, just to make sure. I mean, it's a little bit of debris in there, but it's all right. Alright. That should be good enough for what we're trying to do. It's the only power tool we're using for this. This is not a power tool thing. It's all hand tools. We don't want to break anything. Or if we were using a gun, it would be on very low setting. Okay, yep. From my understanding, these all have that same style clip. So I guess that's what I'm going to work on, is literally just trying to unclip all of those at one time. Alright, let's go ahead and readjust. Perfect. Here, we'll even take a moment, now that I got it all in there nice and good. So there it is, inline 6. Some people even call this America's 2J. I think that's a bit undeserved. I think if anybody, any American make deserves that title, I'm going to have to go with the 4-liter Mopar Jeep inline 6. That's a little more akin to what it's compared to. But supposedly these do run good with the turbo. People do put turbos on them. You can get this with a 5.3 LS, and then the SS version comes with the 6-liter. Okay, yep, that's a bit of a reach, but it'll work. Cinder block stool works, folks. All right. I knew this would be the last little hurdle for me, trying to, like I said, trying to figure out how each one of these little clips works. Yeah, I can hear it clicking in and out. And it doesn't look like this has the pins. Right, this supposedly has plastic caps I'll have to pull up on, which I can feel. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So it is. I have to push down and pull up on it. Oh yeah, okay. There we go. Actually, that means that was a really good idea. And then because we're not replacing these ignition coils, we're definitely going to want to pay attention to what cylinder they came out of. Come on. Well, of course, that one came off easy. Only two of these are fighting me. Oh, short people problems, folks. Oh, that back one's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, that's what I have to do. I'll bet this one comes off real fast with that technique. Down, push, and back. And that's it. That was it. Gosh, I don't think these have been done in a while. These are in good. So this is just going to be your ignition coil harness. And it's a part of this, which this is going to be the only little surprise type deal here, which is exactly what I brought this plastic piece for initially. There's a little bit of a pry up on the back side here. Right? Isn't that it? Because without it, I can't get at that last little bolt. So this is the last little hang up here. Now, looks like I might have broken it. Just not want to come out. Oh, no. I got it right. Turns out there's like these weird plastic clips or whatever. So, in reality, I actually did get that right. So cool. Alright. Now we're just going to start taking off these spark plug bolts. I'm sorry, ignition bolts. And I'm going to change my gloves because I just don't like scrubbing this stuff out of my fingers for a week afterward. It's not called Gears and Girls for nothing. Hands are a little moist. For all those that don't like those oyster words. Alright, folks. I'm going to do the second hardest one first. Oh, looks like still a little more thread. How about now? Oh, still a little more. Oh, there it is. Okay. Set that there. So here we have ignition coil number 1. We got 5 more of those to pull out, so I'm going to go set this aside. Just gotta be careful not to lose any of our hardware. Number 2. Now it's looking a little oily. That's not a good sign. I have to take a look in there. I mean, I'm seeing some other oil in this same area, so it could just be residual from something else. So that's why we're going to take a look. Really trying not to show the camera my butt all the time. Maybe I can get a better look from the front. No, it's a little moist down there. That one's dry though, looks good. So we'll just keep going, see what we can see. Let's blast out these cylinder holes while there's nothing nearby here. And we're going to want to set that aside because we're going to keep blowing them out as we go. I don't think this stuff has been touched in some time. Well, not seeing any oil on that, but might be a video on changing these coils, if it's worthwhile anyway. And the inconsistencies in these, and that's exactly why we're trying to put them back where we got them from. Yeah, see, this is exactly what we don't want going in the engine. In fact, there's just a little too much right there. I don't want to blow it in. We're going to skip that one. Yep. Well, now I'm going to blow it out because something fell in anyway. It's a hard knock life, hey folks? Alright. This is the last one we're probably going to be able to do before we have to get creative with the wrench. Come on, give it to me, Neil. Smells a little like oil. I'll definitely be recommending new coils, regardless of who installs them. It'll be a lot easier for whoever does it the next time around, that's for sure. So you got to do it carefully. Every time you spray some, half of it falls back in. So I'm doing this all at once before I even pull a plug. Because I damn sure would rather be safe than sorry on somebody else's car. Okay, small bump, flex head, 10 mil. Cinder block stool. Come on, here we go. It's almost too short. Stick this. I always like that kind of noise. They just smell kind of old and burnt out and oily. And then this should also reach pretty good for this last one way in the back. So just for in the back here, I've got flex head, 3/8, I'm sorry, 1/4 inch. And then really short little stubby here for comparison. And that'll get you in here perfect. Enough to hold it in place. Not pinching nothing. And once we get it loose, okay, that's definitely loose. I can use my finger here for the last little bit of it. Anything I can do to get at least most of this out of the way. And then I'll blitz all the holes before I put any sockets in it. And we're going to do this 6 one first. I'd rather do the hard one. Get it out of the way. Okay. Okay. So now we're just going to go ahead and blast out the holes with clean air. I figured that would happen. See, I started to get stuff in there. Alright, I think our holes are looking clean. I have a big long one of these too. But I didn't want to haul a bunch of tools up here. Let's For comparison, I mean, here's a new one. I mean, this one's only dirty because I just put my fingers on it. But look at how similar the metals are. There's barely any tarnishing on this one. It all looks good. Oh, you know something? These might be older, just in good shape. Because it looks like that electrode is worn down. If we look at the very tips of these, I don't know, try and get it to focus. There you go, you can kind of see a little bit. See on this tip how thick it is, it's strong, looks new. And then this one, it's kind of itty bitty, kind of pitted. And we know that these are the same brand. So I think that's the story. I think these are older, they're just in good shape. So yes, we are going to change these. And then I'm just going to stick that one back in the hole for right now, because the one I'm mostly concerned about. There we go. So, here, let me lock that one in. Okay, so we're ready to start pulling the spark plug out. So this way back one here, we kind of have to build it. So we've got, for way back here, it barely fits. So we've got our 5/8 socket, and then medium extension to small extension. And then, like I said, it just kind of tilts in there. There you go, slots into its home, and that gives us plenty of space to get our flex head in there. No swivel, no swivel. Go. So just make sure we're not pinching nothing. Okay. That's coming, but it's just a really awkward situation. This is why we're doing this one first. It's just, no matter how you do it, it's awkward, awkward, awkward. Progress is progress, right? Oh, looks like that might be the transmission dipstick, actually, right there. So I take a look at that in a little bit. Oh, this is awkward, 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 folks. Well, it's definitely coming out because now I can't get my arm in there. Oh, blame be Jesus. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but I am tired. I knew this one would be no fun. I knew it wouldn't be. I'll put the pipe on that too. Oh, it's too big. Alright, well. Give me the block to the front. Oh, please be coming. I mean, it's indicating like it is. It is getting easier. Ouch. Does that have a spark plug in it? Does it have a spark plug in it? Damn it. It's definitely getting high. So that's a good sign that it's about to come out. Oh yeah. Okay. We're gonna make it, folks. Now that I'm sweating. I was worried about being too cold. Not now. A little more, but it's definitely loose. I can work with a little more. As soon as I get my wrench back in place here. I have to hold this. Oh, my legs are stretched out. What time is it? Please. Please. Out of the way, I don't want to come out. Feels good. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh. My legs are pretty stretched out, folks. But there it is, the number 6 spark plug gone. Yeah, okay, these are older. See how it started to yellow on the bottom of the porcelain? There you go, now you can see it. That's another way you can tell that a spark plug is aged. Yep, these are all done. Okay. And normally I like to mark these. Oh, right, the block. Might help not to do that. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do block in place of that. We're going to get our coil ready to go. These come pre-gapped. They look pretty close to the other stuff, excuse me. Normally you'd put a little bit of grease on this, a little bit of anti-seize, but I don't have none of that. So, at best, I could put a dab of WD-40 on here just to kind of lube that up, because that was not a very friendly. Decided to be a little gentle with our new one. And then we put it in by hand as far as we can. Which, shockingly, is not very far. So, Oh, that's not a good sign. I may have gotten super distracted and just lost an adapter. Oh, I really hope I didn't just lose that. Oh, because I need it. Alright, was on a bit of a wild goose chase for my adapter here, and it was hiding in plain sight. It's getting late. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll get back to putting this back together. Put this back where I know I can find it. Swap this to on. Okay, I'm starting to get it to its home, and I'm actually thinking I'll wait to do all these coils until the end, so I can spray out the last little bit of that debris. Just want to keep those in the right order. Oh, this last one, I knew it was going to be a chore. So now I just keep screwing it in. That little bit of WD-40 is helping. Lube those threads. Yeah, set to on. And we don't force this. Never ever force this. If it's starting to get tight, give it a little wiggle. And see if it doesn't loosen up. That's why I'm not holding this tight. I don't want to. I want it to just go ahead and find its happy place. Okay. See, every once in a while it'll kind of get tight and then it'll loosen back up. Because yeah, it's starting to get down now. And we got to be careful we're not pinching any of our wire looms, nothing, our connectors, because this ain't going to be worth anything if that stuff is broken. Alright, so that's feeling pretty firm. So now is when a little stability is going to matter. We just want, torque spec good and tight. That's all. Just hand tight. They're just spark plugs. It's not that serious. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and from the side here. I can even kind of jam my... Yeah. It feels pretty good. I'm not left-handed, so yeah, that's it. Let's see if I can't wiggle my flex head out of here. no, I'm just gonna have to take it apart. Okay. All right. That's already cracked. Interesting. There we go. All right, number 6 is changed. Number 1's ready to be changed, but like I said, we're doing this in order. All right, and then I need. Oh, it's already on here. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna worry about getting that back one off, which, quite frankly, getting tired. Want to go take a shower. Okay, that will fit. Okay. Should be able to just. Alright, that's fine. Do it this way. That's on. I just don't want to work any harder than I have to at this point. I could probably hand do that now. Yep. Ooh. That is covered in oil. Not a good sign. Yep. That'll probably take care of some of his issues anyway. That one was definitely all done. Same deal. I'm just going to give this the tiniest squirt on the threads. Some WD-40, a little lubricant since I don't have any anti-seize. Again, just be kind of gentle with the end of it. And straight in, using hands. Alright. I want to put our wrench back on that. Swap it to on. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's going to be tight enough for that. Alright, now we're really going to start to be able to cook with gas. Off. one's a little loose, actually. Oh, just swapped it on. Which means it's a shame we don't have any new coils for this, but Casey's budget was running out when parts were being selected. Yeah, these spark plugs are all done. Again, more yellowing, more oil. New plug going in. Oh, forgot our tiny little squirt. And I'm putting that right in the middle of the threads, just a tiny little dab that'll spread out. I'm putting it in the middle so I'm not damaging the electrode. You only want that to be on the threads. Again, we're going to finger tight as far as we can. Assisted by our WD-40. That's going in real nice. Okay, wrench. Okay, we're already set to on. We were able to hand thread that one pretty good, so. Okay, that one's all done. Okay, and now for how many of these? Right, because I already did that one, right? Yeah, I'm knocking stuff, but I'm not doing anything too crazy because I don't want to pay to break or to fix anything. That's what I'm getting paid to do, is fix things. Yep, that one's not too much yellowing, but definitely burn up. I'm shocked these don't have the little cardboard covers that usually come with these. Maybe it's an NGK thing. That's what I'm used to buying. Oh, a bit of spritz. And these are coming out so easy, honestly, that they don't necessarily need it. It's just more for insurance purposes down the line. And then we only have to fight with getting out one more of these. Torque spec is only like 13 or 15, maybe even 20 foot-pounds. It's not very high, so just wrist tight. It's good enough. Okay, and now for the removal of the last one of these. I'm probably gonna want all the way over here. Oh, that one's pretty loose too. It's loose, but it's kind of stiff. It's interesting how the two or three middle ones were a bit loose. At this point, I just want to... Oh, no, actually, I might be able to get that one off with my finger. No, not quite. How about now? Alright, final reveal. And this is the one that was coated in oil from the exterior. Yeah, look at that. Yep. That one is all done. For example, I think these kind of speak for themselves. Because then that's that one. Brand new. Where's the box you just came out of? Yeah, it's not as... Gonna have to find what I did with that other spark plug I just misplaced. Alright folks, last one. Oh wait, here, hold on. I didn't actually tighten that down, I don't think. It did not. Okay. Maybe a tiny bit more. Yep, perfect. Okay. Now last one. Added another bit of WD-40 because this one came out kind of hard. So I am going to use this just because it gets me a little more clearance. Just have to be very careful that we're not overdoing it here. Okay, that's probably good with that winch. Let me check it with this one. I can't budget with this one at all, then I've got it in a good spot. Yep, that's tight. Alright folks, that bit is done. Now, all we're worried about is putting it back together. Alright, so now that we have all of those done, we're going to hose it off, son. Remember, we don't want to go too crazy because we don't want this stuff ending up where it don't need to. Sorry, Casey, if you're watching this, I gotta flex on you a little bit. Plus, you've really helped me out a lot over the last few years, so kind of my way to pay it forward. All right, I'd say that is one clean engine. Show the ladies and gentlemen at home here. Look at that, all nice and clean up in there. No dirt. Nothing that's not supposed to be there. Okay, put you guys back in your home. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to slap all these coils back in all one time. Number 5. Number 6. I'm just going to hand tighten these bolts down, at least just a little bit. Due to the oily nature of some of those spark plugs, I'm going to wager that some of these coils are just no good anymore. And hopefully plugs and coils can foul each other based on condition. That's 2. Yeah. It should help a little bit. This is 2. One that was really oily. Okay. And then just this last one here, we want to make sure we're lined up with the hole. Okay, that feels like it's biting. Okay, so now we're going to put a wrench to them. Don't want to clip these down until I'm done, or I'm sure they're in place and I don't have to mess with them anymore. I'm thinking the swivel might be more trouble than it's worth. That's definitely going down. Okay, that's tight. Alright, now again, we don't want these very tight because it's just plastic. Especially since they're probably coming off soon. Alright, looks like... Okay, looks like I'm gonna finger this one on more so the wrench will clear. Okay, again, not too tight. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and clip all of these back on. Now that they're all snug, in place, and in their homes. Click. And we're going to do it. Push them till they click. Click, 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 and click. And we're going to push this back into its home. Get this one last little little click blaster. This spot matters next because that's where our air filter is going to go, so I want to make sure that's ready. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and put our plenum back in. The most annoying thing about these clamps is they spin and you end up chasing them, but it's got a little cutout here to stop it from spinning, so that's pretty cool. I'm just going to... I seen, I think it was here. It was on this. Maybe it wasn't, but I swore maybe it was on the cap. I saw something in there. So, go ahead and start with putting this back on the throttle body. Alright, holes are lining up. That's going to go to its home. Two bolts there. I believe those were also 10s. Alright. I'll have to put that pipe back. Oh, we're a little bit off, but that is fine. I've got the wrong wrench too. So we need to make sure that that vacuum hose is back on. It is. Oh, that was the only hang up. Okay. Alright, that vacuum hose right here on the bottom, just got to make sure that that's back on. And I don't know where my plastic trim tool went, but this would be a perfect thing to just go ahead and jam in between. Just try and really work that in there. Okay. So that's good enough. Grab the other one. Again, I'm just going to make these finger tight. Some of this hardware is a little crusty, so we're just going to make it snug. It's good. Ooh. Okay, that's snug. Alright, now we just need that intake tube. This tube right here. I'm glad that fell because that's what we needed anyway. Just kind of This has like a pre-filter, holds all the big stuff out, so we're just gonna. Just go ahead and keep it clean. Clean machine. We're gonna go ahead and put this on. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, this is the piece that has gunk in it. Yeah. Exactly. Get out. I don't know if you guys can see, there's debris right in that hole right there. Try and get it out. Just want to make sure that everything's gonna fit. Test fit it. That hole's gonna go there, that hole's gonna go there. I'll have to try and get some more of that crap out. Okay, well. I'm not going to put that locking clip back in because, quite frankly, it doesn't need it. So that's all good there. So now we're ready for a new air filter. Ooh, new air filter. Claims to be performance based on looking at the old one. The only thing that would give this any performance is if it's a different material, which it claims to be. So this just slides onto the end. No tricks, no gimmicks, just on the end. On the end and slides in. And then that's it. How's that looking on the camera? Yeah, right there. So new filter, new spark plugs, and all I have to do is put the top back on this, and we're gonna start it and see how she runs. Wish I had a vacuum or something to get this out with. Well, it's getting too late for me to deal with that dance. So this is going to plug into this. Front of the air filter goes on this. want to be beating up nothing too much here. Okay, that helps. Now that I know it's not stuck to it. Okay, make sure screw holes are lined up. They're looking like it. Okay, that's all feeling snug. I swear that these were 8 mils. No, the clamps were 8 mils. Doy. Derp, -der. So, why don't we go ahead and put these on. Okay. Remember, it's all just plastic stuff, so we want to be nice to it. So that's okay. That's all solid. That clips on. Okay, that's good enough for that. So I don't know what I'm just spinning endlessly into, but that's good enough for me. Alright, folks. That's it. It's all put back together. We got our cover back on, new engineer filter, tubes back on, plenums back on, spark plugs are done, coils are on, not replaced, probably will be replaced, and all our clamps are tight and our connections are made. So we're going to go ahead and test start it. Make sure it still runs. That it's stumbled a couple times with those new plugs, the new filter. that sounds good.